Hello and welcome to OVA Hell Episode 3. This episode covers the OVA Twinkle Nora Rock Me. This OVA features bad animation. There's really not a lot of objectionable content in this one. I probably don't have to do this, but viewer discretion is advised? Anyway, you ready to clap sync?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Jesus fuck, hon.
What?
It's so late.
That was it. That was on time for me.
I know it was on time for you, but it's so late.
To be fair,
Anyway.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, go off.
I was about to say something that was factually incorrect, so never mind.
Okay.
So,
I was going to say, I realized, to be fair, Deirdre's was the one that was extremely late for me, but then I realized, no, that couldn't be possible, because I clap synced to that. So I'm like, no, that couldn't be possible.
that's kind of funny.
Right. OVA Hell Podcast. Let's go. Woo. Yeah, fuck. Welcome back to episode 3. Woo. I'm a little dazed. I don't know how much of this is actually going to be the intro and how much of just talking right there at the beginning is going to get incorporated into being an intro for this episode. But we just finished watching Twinkle Nora Rock Me.
You're really that flustered over Twinkle Nora Rock Me?
It actually wasn't that bad.
I'm not that flustered. I'm just weird after that. I also did fall down the stairs in between watching the thing and recording, so that's maybe not done the best.
Had a bit of a tumble.
Had a bit of a tumble.
I thought that's what the Onceler was supposed to do.
I was drinking. You can't say that.
I can say whatever I want. You invited me onto this podcast.
I did invite you onto this podcast. Welcome back, DrLockdown, for a second episode.
Hello.
Hello. Still not sure of permanent host yet. I'm not sure how we're counting permanent hosts or not. We'll work that out later. Anyway, Twinkle Nora Rock Me. Before we get back onto everything. 1985. Yes, 1985 OVA. Directed by one Mr. Let me just get up my notes because I put them down because I'm stupid. Directed by Satomi Mikuria, who notably was also the original mangaka for the series.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
So anything that's not source material accurate is source material accurate.
It's source material accurate, and oh god, there was a lot of not source material accurate. This has a source material. I've read the source material, and we'll probably get into that.
When you say it's not accurate, you've only read the first 4 chapters,
I have only read
right?
the first few chapters, and I think there's actually 3 different Nora mangas, and I could only find one scanlated, because of course this shit's never got like an official release. It's Twinkle Nora Rock Me, infamous OVA. It moves at a frame a second. It really does move at a frame a second sometimes. Not constantly. It's less badly animated than a lot of people will imply, but also it's not particularly well animated even then.
I enjoyed it for what it was, personally.
I thought it was
That's fair.
fine. I thought it was fine. There's an anecdote I have.
I had fun.
What's the anecdote? Go for the anecdote.
It's a bit of a weird story. So, back when I was, back before, I was straight out of high school, and I was just starting to play D&D, and there was this person in the D&D group that I had a crush on, so I invited her to the movies, and we decided to go see Fate. It was one of the Fate movies that was supposed to be a different route. And we just went in it, and it expected you to know everything, and it just showed you random scenes. And we walked out as like, we understood nothing of that. What the? Yeah, it was Heaven's Feel, actually. It was the first Heaven's Feel movie. And I'm like, this is literally just for people who've already played the original light novel and just want to see the scenes animated. What was the point of this? And Twinkle Nora Rock Me kind of gives me the same vibes. Also, that person, I eventually did ask her out, and she was disgusted, and we stopped being friends.
Aww.
It's okay.
Oh my
I have
God.
someone much better. Hi, honey.
Yay!
You're probably not watching this, but hi, honey.
Yay. Hi, MJ.
Hi. Oh God. Twinkle Nora Rock, mate. It certainly is an OVA. It's the oldest OVA we've seen so far.
Out of 3?
Because we're out of the 3, this is the oldest one because we're back in the 80s now, whereas previously we've been pretty tethered to the 90s. So it's a very different scene. It's a very different world. This one actually had a behind-the-scenes doc, which I talked about a little in the commentary track, which I still don't know what we're doing to release those, if those ever actually come out. Or if they just get implemented into the episode. We're still recording them, just don't know what I'm doing with them. And the behind the scenes is revealing. It very much seems like there was no one working on this thing. There were like 6 people on staff, including the director. Half of that behind the scenes doc, and I say behind the scenes doc loosely, because it's like 50% the creator and director riding around on his cool as fuck Kawasaki motorbike and hanging around with someone that they've paid to be a Nora cosplayer for the shoot.
Oh, they paid her. I assumed it was just a regular cosplayer.
I have to assume they paid her because obviously she's in the thing. It's not like, oh, they went to a convention or they went to Comiket and they just saw a Nora cosplayer. If I ever went to a convention and I saw a Nora cosplayer, I think they'd be my favorite person. Because that's great.
Ironically, it'd be more common now.
Yeah. But yeah, Satomi Mikuria, the director and original manga, as mentioned before, he's an interesting fellow because he basically seems to have demanded to do the OVA himself. Because he is obsessed with Nora. He drew an anime girl, and he was like, I love my anime girl. I invented an anime girl. I am now going to make at least one entire manga. I think potentially 3. Again, I can't find the other 2, but there do seem to be multiple mangas for this. I'm going to make an entire manga about her, and then when it comes to the OVA, we're going to do 2 OVAs, and I'm going to direct both of them, and I'm going to have complete creative control. And that's how we got this.
You know, I respect that. You know, having that much love for a character you made, and wanting to make sure that they stick to the closest, that they are the closest version of your vision of them as possible. I understand that. And being really passionate about them and making all these stories involving them. I understand that. But I'm guessing a lot of stuff went wrong.
They fired the animators.
Did they actually fire the animators, or...?
This gets thrown around a lot. I've not actually seen any actual evidence that they fired the animators. But judging by the fact that there was a first Nora OVA... and it is significantly better animated than Twinkle Nora Rock Me, I think it's pretty clear that they fired the animators.
I do want to say, I just want to add a slight caveat was that I respect the drive for loving your character that much. I don't know what the director was like.
Behind the scenes.
I'm sleep deprived. Thank you.
That's your own fault. You're the one that went nocturnal with your sleep schedule.
That is true.
If you're sleep deprived, it's your own fault. That's not true. Look after yourself.
This is everyone listening's daily reminder or nightly reminder perhaps, to drink water right now. I don't care where you are. Drink water.
Drink water.
Thank you.
It's very hot in the UK at the moment, as of recording.
It is freezing in Australia.
I want it to be freezing so bad.
Can we swap? I prefer heat.
Oh, God. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, thanks. That's going to be really hard to edit around. I should remember to put my phone on silent before we start doing these. So what is Twinkle Nora Rock Me even actually about?
Well, it's not
Okay.
Gunsmith Cats.
It's not a Gunsmith Cat. It's not Dragonhearth. We're not talking about those today. I don't want to talk about either of them again. Can we not mention them again for the entire episode?
I make no promises.
Okay.
But Twinkle Nora Rock Me is about a bounty hunter named Nora who goes to the planet. What was it called? Not Glimmer, not
Dazzle.
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 They could have called the planet
Thank
Twinkle,
you.
and it would have been perfect, but no.
No. That would
Goes
make
to the
too
planet
much sense.
Dazzle. It would make too much sense. She goes to the planet Dazzle to get a $1 million bounty on a wizard.
It's
This is
wizard
it's a
time,
weird mix of
bitches.
sci-fi and fantasy. It's like Star Wars.
It's not even a cool mix like Dune. It's just like, there are wizards who have psychic powers, and they don't make a lot of sense.
It is very Dune, actually, because it's all psychic powers rather than, like, magic. Or they call it magic, but it's, like, psychic abilities, hallucinations, that kind of thing, which is always the more sci-fi safe type of magic, where it's magic, but, like, you know, we can claim it's brain stuff, so it doesn't break the world building or whatever.
Does that mean Nora was high on spice in the opening credits?
Absolutely. Absolutely, when she's three-framed spinning around.
The opening, like the beginning few seconds of Twinkle Nora Rock Me, she's dancing around a city.
Well, no, the evil wizard's
floating
first, so
in some
it's more like
frames.
the first minute.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, we get a little shot of the evil wizard, who, like, spawns out of the
completely blanked.
ground and then goes, "Wahaha, I shall defeat Nora." He says that
yeah.
verbatim, and then it turns into Nora
like-
dancing around Las Vegas.
He says something about a prophecy where like a princess will bring about the end of the world or something.
Does that ever get brought up again?
Maybe in the manga.
No.
It's probably
Maybe in the
probably in the manga.
Is it in the manga, though? Because, again, it was not in the manga I read. The manga I read was completely different.
Maybe you
We'll
just read
get
the
to
wrong
that
manga,
later.
because you said there were 3 of them.
There's, like, 3 of them, yeah. I probably just read the wrong one, but it's also like, okay. We'll get to what the manga's about in a bit, because I want to finish the recap of what Nora's about, or what Twinkle Nora Rock Me's about, before we get to what the goddamn fucking manga's about. You there, hun? Sorry.
I'm here. Sorry, I'm formulating my words.
Okay.
The infamous dance scene with her and Max.
Max is a little guy who looks a bit like the mangaka and director. A little. I'm not saying it was
does he?
intentional. He does. I picked up on it while watching it. I didn't call it out, but I'm gonna see if I can grab a picture of the guy while you keep talking about the thing, and I'll post it in the group chat.
Most of the OVA doesn't look like that. Like with the animation, most of it does actually have a decent amount of frames, but there are a few bits that are seconds per frame. I pointed out in the opening, like actual scene where Nora's in like an airport. I think it's an airport.
It's a spaceport. It looks like an
Airport.
See, it would totally work if the environmental
I pointed-
storytelling would just clue you in straight away, but no.
Well, no, it did, because there was sounds of planes, and there was an overhead look, and there were ships, and there were people, with suitcases. So that was fine. It was like a spaceport airport thing. But no, in that scene, that is, I said that it looks like they just took the keyframes, and apparently they did, according to Quartz and her research.
Yeah, again, there is a behind-the-scenes doc. They show some of the keyframes that they were working with, and some of the frames and unfinished Set A animation cells, and it's very clear that, like, oh, these are just the keyframes that they colored. They didn't actually animate any in-betweens here. They just took those keyframes that they drew and they colored them. And they put them on a laserdisc.
Most of the OVA isn't like that. Fortunately. But it is very jarring when it happens.
I have seen way worse. I have seen anime from the 70s that basically have 2 keyframes per 5 seconds and, like, nothing between them. So...
Chargeman Ken.
I don't know what that is, but it's not terrible.
It's not the worst. It's not great. Even when it is animated, it's not, like, great, but it is... It's not as bad as its reputation would probably have you believe. I think that Nora has an quality. That quality is Nora herself. But, like, it's not the worst anime I've ever seen.
I go as far as to say as it's fun. It is a fun OVA.
It is fine. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's in, it's out, it's half an hour. Twinkle Nora Rock Me is like, hey, I'm gonna rock you, and then it rocks all over the place, and that's it.
I love the part in
Doesn't
Twinkle
quite rock your
Nora
socks
Rock
off.
Me where Nora said it's rocking time, and then she Twinkle Nora rocked all over the place.
You literally just said what I just said.
Yeah, I said your joke funnier and louder, and therefore I'm better.
Well, your joke can't be funnier and louder because you're British.
Oh, good. Oh no, good point. Damn. There's actually an interesting story behind the copy that we watched, specifically of Nora. Because the amount of work that went into making this specific copy of this specific mid-as-fuck OVA from the 80s is more work than anyone should ever have had to put in to preserve Twinkle Nora Rock Me.
I mean, every piece of media is worth saving.
Every piece of media is worth saving, but... So, what we watched was actually a Frankenstein job of a couple of different Laserdisc copies of Twinkle Nora Rock Me. So, we watched fan subs version, which was provided by Orphan Fan Subs. We're probably going to come across them a lot, because if you want, like, old, obscure mid-OVAs, a lot of them have been subbed by Orphan over the years. They did an original subtitle for an older rip of Twinkle Nora Rock Me that was missing part of the end credits and was from a damaged Laserdisc. And apparently they were on the lookout for ages for a more complete Laserdisc and a better rip so they could create a better version along with some of the other rips that they've done over the years. And then one day on Yahoo Auctions Japan, probably, I don't have the information in front of me right now, but there was an auction for a bunch of Laserdiscs, which included Nora and a couple of others that they were looking for. And an insane amount of money was spent to get one of the most rotted Laserdiscs you could ever have expected. It was completely missing its audio channel. It had some higher quality footage from what I understand, but from the eventual rip, but it was also awful. But between them, we have a full rip of Twinkle Nora Rock Me, which we can now all enjoy? ?
I enjoyed it.
So what you're telling me is that Twinkle Nora Rock Me is the Fritz Lang's Metropolis of 80s anime.
That's the original Metropolis, right?
Yes.
Yes, not the 2001 one by Rintaro, which I have been asked multiple times, are we doing that on the podcast? Yes, we're doing Metropolis on the podcast. Yeah, no, we should.
I love that
We
movie.
will eventually. I've been asked multiple times by multiple people, hey, when are you doing Metropolis?
But I wanted to see that in the cinema when they had their anniversary showing, and I couldn't get anyone to go with me.
Oh no!
Aww.
That's a shame.
Ah, well.
I've never heard of Metropolis.
It's by Rintaro, the guy who made Take the X Train.
We should watch the original
not
Fritz Lang's
educated.
Metropolis. Or actually, wait, I could bring my expertise on the original because I've also seen the original.
Oh!
Ooh.
Metropolis episode coming soon, I guess. No promises on when, but like, we'll do it eventually.
If the wheel decides.
Yes.
We don't have to do the wheel. We don't always have to do the wheel. We can just pick stuff.
But the wheel's fun.
The wheel's fun.
Wheel, pew,
But-
wheel, pew, wheel, pew.
Occasionally it will spit out Twinkle Nora Rock Me, and we'll be like, well,
Yeah, and
fuck.
and I had a lot of fun with Twinkle Nora Rock Me.
I did
Especially
too.
especially with the oh my god, that's kind of brutal, where she psychically stopped someone's heart with a smile on her face and a twinkle in her eye.
Her wink was terrifying, though. That's not how you wink. When she winked in that scene, it reminded me of the bug guy from, Vincent D'Onofrio's character from Men in Black 1.
That was Vincent D'Onofrio?
Oh.
Holy shit.
That was Vincent D'Onofrio! That was the Kingpin.
Wow. See, I only watched that film as a kid. I don't remember anything from it. I was probably too young to be watching Men in Black as a kid.
The first one's good, though, at least, you know.
I like all three.
I've never seen 2. I've seen 3 once.
You've never seen 2.
I've never seen 2.
2 is just horny.
'I've
2
seen...
did things to me.
Is that why you're the woman you are today?
Probably, honestly.
That's
I
fair.
thought that was
You know, I'm
Alien.
not even mad. That's fair.
No. Alien vs. Predator also did things to me.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm mad.
But so did Men in Black 2.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Alien just traumatized me.
So anyway, Twinkle Nora Rock Me.
So anyway, Twinkle
Twinkle
Nora
Nora
Rock
Rock
Me.
So anyway, Gunsmith Cats.
No! I liked the bit where the second manga came out and then Forbidden Planet didn't get it in when it actually launched, and now I'm waiting for them to fulfill my pre-order because fucking Dark Horse can't print enough copies to fit supply. I'm beefing with a comics company over their release of Gunsmith Cats.
I'm sure it won't be the last time you're beefing with a comics company.
Who would win? The amount of frames from Twinkle Nora Rock Me or the amount of copies of Gunsmith Cats Volume 2?
The amount of frames from Twinkle Nora Rock Me. I like Nora.
I
Like,
think it's
not
good.
necessarily the OVA. I think the OVA is fine. You know, I think we can all kind of say it's fine. But I really like Nora as, like, a character and a design. I think she's fun. I think that, like, I totally get why her creator got kind of obsessed over her. Like, it makes sense, you know?
I mean, at least it's far more healthy than the Rent-A-Girlfriend creator getting obsessed over the girls in his anime and stuff. I think she's cute, but she just doesn't
Wait,
have a
he
lot of
did?
personality outside of, hey, I'm spunky, and that's kind of it, and that's okay. That could be far worse. It could be far worse.
It could be far worse. I want to go back to the Rent-A-Girlfriend thing quickly, because I've got to... I'm assuming you've not heard this, June, man. So basically, pretty recently in Rent-A-Girlfriend, and it's like chapter 200
Oh no,
or
you
something.
did. You told me this.
Yes, okay,
Yeah, you
so...
told
I
me
probably
this.
already know this.
Oh,
there was a love confession between the main character and the main love interest.
the girlfriend.
And she turned him down.
$400,000 on.
Yes.
She turned him down because she's technically already married to the mangaka.
Keep in mind, the mangaka has a wife and kids at this point and is obsessing over characters he wrote.
Yeah. I don't get why Rent-A-Girlfriend's
That's not great.
popular. There's better... If you want generic harem bullshit and generic romance anime bullshit, there's better manga for that as well. I don't get Rent-A-Girlfriend.
Have you ever been stuck near a car crash and unable to look away?
Yes. It's called Twinkle Nora
Fortunately,
Rock Me.
no.
Hey, that's rude.
That's not fair.
That's not fair at all.
That's not
Be
fair.
nice to Nora.
I'll be nice to
Fine.
Nora.
But no, my romance recommendation would be Oran High School Host Club.
That's cute.
Very basic.
That's cute.
But I liked it when I watched it like 10 years ago.
Yowie.
More than 10 years ago.
Fujoshi. Pointing meme.
My romance recommendation is to go outside and get a partner.
Touch grass.
I did. I got a partner without touching grass, thank you very much.
I mean, same. I was the one who was asked out, so I can't really talk.
My romance recommendation is the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. It's really good. The Green Yuri. Read The Green Yuri. Anyway, Twinkle Nora Rock Me. Nora. Good music. Unironically, really good music in this OVA that I feel like no one talks about.
The singer was unfortunately out of key a lot of the time, but for the most part, the music was pretty good.
Yeah. Music was done by the band Vigilante, who I was not able to dig up much on, because there's a lot of bands called Vigilante. But, yeah, it was all done by, like, a real band, implying that, like, you know, but like they hired a band to do the music, I think based on, you know, the tastes of the creator, and I think they did a pretty good job. Going back to the behind the scenes a little, they actually performed the main scene outside as like a dance party thing for the doc. It's a weird behind the scenes bit. I don't know how to describe what happens in that.
Anyway, Twinkle Nora Rock Me.
Yes.
She beats up a rapist. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She does, yes.
Based. Like, literally the first time... She just goes onto a planet, lands, goes into a bar, orders milk, then beats up a rapist.
Yeah.
I'm here to kick ass and I'm here to beat up rapists and drink milk, and I'm all out of milk.
I don't think she ever drank the milk.
She never drank the milk.
Oh no!
Maybe she never got it.
She never got the milk.
An unresolved plot thread. I hope it gets picked up in the manga.
In Nora 3, Nora in Time. Well, no. Would Nora... No, 4 is not... would be Nora in space, because you always go to space in the 4th one. What would Nora 3 be? And also, she's already in space.
3 would be...
Which Evil Dead was the one with time travel?
That was 3.
Okay.
So yeah, it would be Nora in Time.
3 would be the version where... Hang on, 1 second. I gotta make this joke work. Hang on. Can you give me a second and cut out this part here?
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
Okay. Let's see. What we got? Okay. So the Nora 3 is when they recast everyone and they have no Nora in it whatsoever except for a 2-second cameo at the end because they think the cast is getting too old and nobody likes them. 4 is when they realize that Nora was the only reason people were watching people anyway. So they go back and they decide, okay, that's enough. We're going back to the traditional thing. Nora 5 is when they bring everyone from every previous OVA together in one big standoff. Also, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is there for some reason. Nora 6 is when they suddenly...
Nora in the Hood?
No. One moment. What is it?
Okay, sorry, I threw you.
One moment. Let's figure this out.
Take your time.
Nora 6 is when they're drawn back into things because suddenly they're being attacked by the rapist from the first half of the film, who is suddenly a main character. Nora 7 is when Nora dies, the actress of Nora dies, so they then CGI her into it and use her sister for everything else, and then give her a send-off at the end to a really hokey pop song. Nora 8 is when suddenly it's revealed that the dancer from the beginning has a brother who wants to kill everyone. Nora 9 is just, I don't know, some random hacker is attacking everyone. And Nora 10 is when Jason Momoa is there.
Oh my god, it's the entire Mission Impossible franchise.
Close, it was Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I was wondering what are you referencing? Fast and the Furious.
Oh my god.
Trying to blow my nose and
Nora
I can't
10.
stop
They,
laughing.
It's okay. I was going off of that
I thought you were going to say...
which is...
Also, don't forget, they have to have Twinkle Nora Rock Me, and then they bring back two random side characters from the manga together because one of the side characters refuses to share screen time with Nora because she has a I cannot lose a fight clause.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that was Hobbs and Shaw! I saw that movie in the cinema! It's the only Fast and Furious film I've ever seen. I thought it was okay, actually.
Doing? It is okay. I have to preface with the fact that I do like the Fast and the Furious. It is entirely my partner's fault for getting me stuck into it. How dare you?
It's fine. They're fun movies. They're fun movies. They do fun things. I can't wait for Lego Fast and the Furious to come out. How have they not done that yet?
Here's one thing
Surely.
I want to know. How are they not done Transformers Fast and the Furious?
That is a good question.
Oh, they did Star Wars Transformers. Why not Fast and the Furious Transformers?
They're both
That makes
Paramount.
so much more
And then when they
sense than Stars War.
They're both Paramount.
No Transformers crossovers
thought-
in Twinkle Nora Rock Me, as far as I could find, by the way.
No, back to the Fast and Furious Transformers. When they transform, their body is a transformer, but the head is just the actor's head.
It's Dwayne Johnson, but he's doing the face just constantly.
He's doing the...
That's just how it's
Yeah.
molded.
That sounds an awful lot like a Rick and Morty bit.
Yeah. Oh god, I can't talk about Rick and Morty on here. I would get crucified for my opinions.
Being crucified anyway.
Yeah. Fine, sod it. Pickle Rick was a good episode. Fight me. Anyway, Twinkle
Oh
Nora
god,
Rock
there
Me.
it is.
Which do you think is better, Twinkle Nora Rock Me or Pickle Rick?
Unironically,
Twinkle
Pickle
Nora Rock Me.
Rick.
Heathen.
I'm not doing the Pickle Rick discussion on how that's actually, I think, the strongest episode in Season 3. And also, I think Season 3 is nowhere near as bad as everyone remembers Season 3 being. But know that those opinions are there, and I will probably speak them at some point.
There's no saving her.
Yeah, and also with the caveat that fuck Justin Roiland.
The caveat of fuck Justin Roiland. In general, just like everything. But ignoring that, you know,
Who's Justin Roiland?
good question. The more we forget him, the better. So fun fact, actually, because you spoke about recasting everyone in that Fast and Furious bit. Apparently, between the first Nora OVA and the second Nora OVA, so between Nora and Twinkle Nora Rock Me, there were talks about recasting Nora's voice actor, for no particularly clear reason, from what I can gather from the behind the scenes. Which again leads to the thing of like they fired the animators, because it's like I think they were just trying to get everyone as cheap as possible, because the point was not to make like something on its own. It was just to have Nora animated so that the creator could be like, look, my child is on the screen, she is beautiful. Which is fair, you know? Who doesn't want to see their creations come to life? But also, yeah.
You know, the same sort of thing actually happened with an old Lupin the Third OVA, the Fuma Conspiracy, where they recast everyone temporarily, and then suddenly all the previous voice actors were really angry, and they tried speaking with the manga artist who had nothing to do with it, and apparently there's a lot of misinformation on whether they were okay after that, but they'll never really know.
Ooh, that's, yeah. We should really do a Lupin OVA at some point, except it would be tough because, what was it, Production IG? Or, oh god, who was it last episode that we had to contend with? Last episode didn't get struck, but I didn't use much footage, so, you know.
I don't remember.
OLM?
Oh yeah, OLM.
See, I was thinking maybe not Lupin because it's too popular and actually quality.
Aww.
I'm here for the obscure trash.
Lupin being actual quality is debatable some of the time. Some of the time it's great. I'm not trying to devalue Lupin. It's just, no, I'm not sure if it's always actual quality.
Depends on the OVA.
Sorry, let me
It depends on the OVA.
let me rephrase. I said I I said I'm here for the obscure trash, but we're doing an episode on Nora. I'm here for the obscure and the trash.
The obscure and the trash.
There we go.
Yeah. I think we're doing okay with obscure and or trash. Nora's interesting. I don't know. I want to talk more about it, but like part of the problem is my research was not able to dig up a ton of information on like anyone involved or anything that was happening. So actually bringing stuff to this was quite difficult. I'm not gonna lie. There's not a
even
ton.
the actors?
I looked into the actors. Most of them are career VAs from the 80s, meaning that past the 80s, they fall off in relevance. They don't have many roles. I couldn't find a single Sailor Moon connection. So there's a first time for everything.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. I would have loved a Sailor Moon connection because, you know, we've had one every other episode, but I could not find one for the life of me. Like, genuinely, the person that played Nora is obviously the most, like, notable voice actor in this. Nora's not their most notable role, but it's not far off. I think they played Ixa in Fight Ixa 1, which is an OVA we'll cover eventually, doubt this. But that's about it, honestly. It's not... There wasn't a ton, and it was kind of annoying to work through, because it's like... Gunsmith Cats, there's so much, because it was a really well-known anime and manga, but trying to find info on Nora was kind of frustrating, because very few people who were involved with it are, like, still around and talking about it. The mangaka died in 2022, unfortunately. A lot of the voice actors have passed away over the decades. This is the problem as we go further back. It's like, it's hard to find info on some of these people and find out what they did because they're just not around to give us more information. I don't regret watching Nora. I think that was quite fun. I was kind of surprised by it. But, you know, it was just kind of Nora.
The fact that none of you know necromancy to circumvent this issue disappoints me.
I'm sorry. I'm working on it. It's...
Believe me, I'm tempted. There is at least one book on the occult in this house.
I have multiple books on the occult. But, yeah. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I lied. I lied. We do have a Sailor Moon connection, and it is the voice actress of Nora. Okay. She voiced Valicia Hubert in the third special of Sailor Moon Super or Supers. I don't know Sailor Moon, but we do have a Sailor Moon crossover. There we go. We've got one. We've got one. Yay! They were also in Pokemon. They played Maya in Pokemon.
I don't know Pokemon. This is where we say that if the subject of an episode doesn't have a Sailor Moon connection, the episode doesn't get aired.
No!
Why would you say that?
Because it's funny.
It's funny, but we can't do that. I'm not putting all this work in.
Oh, sure. Let's just record an entire episode and then never release it.
Never air it because we don't have a
Sailor Moon connection.
A Sailor Moon connection. Everyone was in Sailor Moon. We'll be fine. We could say that and we would probably be fine. But I don't want to say that for obvious reasons. They were also in Fist of the North Star and Kinnikuman? Okay. I probably should have done more research on them.
You should have.
So does this mean
shit, no, it's Minerva! They're Minerva!
Oh.
They're Transformers Minerva.
Yeah, I gathered.
I have Minerva.
Which one? Legacy?
The Legacy one.
Yeah, the
no
good
one
one.
owns the original one. The good one.
Yeah. Do not get fans hobby.
Yeah. I'm not... Can we talk about this, like, in the open? Because I remember that you were trying to track down a Garage Kit one.
I did get that.
Did you ever get hold of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I never built it because it was too difficult. And then they announced Fans Hobby, and then they announced Legacy, and I'm like, oh, so this was all for nothing. Okay.
Well, you've got a rare Garage Kit. I'd say that's worth something. Garage Kits aren't exactly easy to come across.
Yeah, I just got lucky.
Yeah. Anyway, Nora. I'm sorry,
Nora.
I should have done more research. I'm kind of frustrated with myself because I was looking at their credits before now, and or when I was doing the research, and it was like they've not done anything, and now I'm like, oh wait, they were the Transformer that is cool. I don't know. Oh, Nora.
Nora. What else is there to say about the OVA?
I think the matte paintings were a little bit underdone, but I mean, given that barely anyone worked on it,
There were twinkles. There was a Nora. There was a rock.
she broadcasts rock music with her mind.
For such a small team, it was really well done, in my opinion. As someone who doesn't have any experience animation.
It was pretty well done for what seems like a very small team working on it. When you consider that. Obviously, there's those scenes, the bits where it moves at 2 frames a second, but mostly I think it was pretty well animated.
And don't forget,
well,
it still
bearing
oozes
in mind.
the fuck you, it's the 80s vibe.
It's so 80s. We talked a lot about 90s anime, but 80s anime also has its own vibe, and I'm very excited to get more into that.
Something I will say, this is either as a strength or a weakness, depending on how you look at it. You can't really tell... it's not clear what is and isn't an illusion, because they do psychic power illusion stuff. So it's not clear, is this actually something or is this an illusion? And you can see that as being a strength of it's there to confuse the viewer, so you're also on your toes. But you can also see it as a weakness of it's not communicating well after the illusion's gone. Was it an illusion? Was it real?
He turns into Godzilla at one point.
He does, and he turns back and he falls from the sky, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, was that real?
Something happened.
Can we do a Godzilla episode at some point? I know it's not anime, but still.
We could definitely do a Godzilla episode at some point. There's a lot of Godzilla. I as I've said before, I want to stick to anime and specifically OVAs for now, for at least a few more episodes. Like, stick to it hard, but I'm more than open to kind of going a little outside the box on what we can cover here. You know, like full movies are fine. Tokusatsu is probably fine, all things considered.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't do a Godzilla anime until, like, years later. Seems like they should have done way more throughout the, the 2000s and such, but no.
No, it's basically just the anime trilogy of movies, which I've never watched, and Singular Point, which is... Singular Point.
I thought Singular Point was okay.
It was okay, it's just... I maintain that Singular Point's problem is that it feels like an unrelated high-concept sci-fi disaster story that they then kind of forced Godzilla and the Godzilla-adjacent characters into at the last moment. Like, it's got a lot of very good ideas, but I don't see why this is Godzilla or why any of the traditional kaiju are here or why any of this matters. But if you like Jet Jaguar, which you should because it's Jet Jaguar, then it's a good series for that.
Yes, I love Jet Jaguar, so this was... I feel like... Wait, hang on. Are we talking about Godzilla Singular Point when we should be talking about Gunsmith Cats?
No, we should be talking about Nora. Nora. I think we kind of just run out of stuff to say on Nora. I don't want to say it's good, because it's not.
Think it's fine.
But it's like...
It's fine.
As infamous as the dance scene is, I like it in context because it's Nora encouraging someone who's not super confident on himself, I think. I think he wasn't confident in himself.
It is a little hard to tell
Either
character motivation.
Yeah. Either I wasn't paying attention, or it wasn't super clear that he... Well, what his motivation... It's clear he wants to dance and he likes dancing, but something's stopping him, and I think it might be because he's stuck on Oh, what's the name of the planet again?
Dazzle.
On Dazzle. It might be because he's stuck on Dazzle, he can't be a dancer.
I think that...
But I liked that Nora encouraged him and go like, hey, I'm gonna bang out some music, very improv, not very good music, but, you know, dance.
Oh god, the drums were so out of time.
So out of time that they basically
I
faded
think-
into a proper song.
Yeah, they had to fade into a proper song, which I think could be seen as Nora not being good at playing music. And so they use the song to capture the vibe of what's going on, as opposed to actually what she's playing.
I think the ultimate thing with Twinkle Nora Rock Me is that what it's about is Nora doing stuff. Like, that's what it is. It's about, hey, look, Nora's gonna do some stuff, and you're gonna watch it, and it'll be fun. It's not particularly deep. It sacrifices everything to have Nora do stuff, but, like, it's pretty fun. It's not the worst thing you're ever gonna watch. Actually, that's not... No, I stand by that. There's way worse anime out today. It's just not the best animated. It's fine. It's just kind of fine, you know?
I think ultimately it's an ad for the manga. It's like, hey, look at how cool Nora is. Go read my 3 manga and bask in how awesome Nora is. I really like Nora, and you should really like Nora too. And I think it achieves that. At least better than Fate Heaven's Feel.
Oh, God. I don't think it...
Oh, the Fate story.
I don't think it's so much of an ad for the manga, because I think the manga was, like, well and truly done at the point that these were coming out. I think it's much more likely that it is just, like, the creator just really liked his creation and wanted to see it in animation. And I can respect that. Even if I don't think that the final result was amazing, I think that you can respect them for wanting to see their character come to life.
That is fair.
I don't know if we should maybe just end it here. Like, I mean, we've hit 50 minutes in recording.
I can't think of what else to say.
We basically said everything. I think...
Other than when she had a rock thrown at her, and she turned that rock into rocks and stones.
Rock and stone!
Chicken Jackie.
Yeah. No!
Oh.
I
There's
have
a
not seen that
Minecraft
film.
manga.
There's a Minecraft manga?
There's a Minecraft manga.
That should okay, that should be the Halloween special.
There's not a Minecraft anime. We can't...
But we can read the manga and we can talk about the manga.
We could read the manga and talk about the manga, but we've got some... I've got some stuff planned for Halloween. I've got some stuff planned for Halloween. We're going Halloween. No, Minecraft movie be April Fools. Yay, we're going to do that for... No.
If you do,
I already
I
have the
swear
April
I am
Fool's thing
swimming
planned.
to England and stabbing you.
You don't need to stab her. She's gonna get stabbed anyway.
Yeah, I'll just step outside my house. And
See, we step outside of our houses.
you get punched
Every
by a
venomous
kangaroo.
animal known to man. Yeah, no. We get kicked by a kangaroo, bitten by mosquitoes, and funnel web spiders. You step out of your house, you get stabbed.
Yeah, no, we step out of our house and then suddenly the drop bears just start clawing us to death.
Oh my god. I wonder if they've ever made an OVA about an evil koala.
But why would you make an OVA about evil koalas when drop bears already exist?
Yes, no, sorry, an OVA about drop bears. Because, like,
A koala that wants to become a
a
drop bear.
koala that wants to become a drop... Like, that's bonkers enough to have been done, right? That's got to have been done. Surely.
If it's not, we'll get to work on it after we successfully pitch the gorilla xenomorph.
Oh god, I forgot about the gorilla xenomorph bit. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Gorilla Xenomorph sounds like it would go hard.
Yeah, like, think about it. That's such a... We're gonna... Have they ever done an alien anime? I don't think so. I know they've done
I don't think so.
Terminator recently.
There was supposed to be a Predator anime. They had every episode done and then they shelved it as a tax write-off.
Oh my god.
Man,
Man. Thanks, was this under Disney, or is this before Disney took over?
This was Disney. Disney got the rights and shelved it.
That's so annoying, because otherwise Disney are kind of letting cool stuff happen with the Predator IP. Like, I've heard good things about Hunter of Hunters, and I've not watched it yet, but I've heard good things about that. Prey was good. Prey was really good.
I forgot Ellen Ripley is now technically a Disney princess.
Well, I mean, is Ripley being a Disney princess even the weirdest Disney princess that exists? We've started watching Fireball together. You know it. You know they've got the robot girl. You know they've got robot Hatsune Miku in their back catalogue.
Yeah, but that's child appropriate.
Good point. Good point. Nora.
Nora good.
Nora.
And I'll stand by that.
I feel like I should mention the dude who she stopped the heart of. He's fine.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't actually stop his heart, but he did stop talk about how painful it was, and she had a smile on her face the whole time, which kind of respectable, kind of based. Don't know.
I don't know. I just think it was okay. Like, I don't want to say it's good.
I had fun.
That's the thing. I don't want to say that it's good, because I don't think it was good. But it was okay. Like, I had a better time than I thought I was going to have with it. Even if a good portion of it was laughing at the single frame animation.
I gotta say, it is easier to follow and understand than Dragon Half.
It was a lot easier to understand than Dragon Half. We can't just compare everything to Dragon Half.
Especially since I haven't seen it.
Why not?
Oh
boy. Hey, you want to watch it after this?
I have work tomorrow. Normally I would, but I have work tomorrow.
Oh.
I'll send you a link to Dragon
Damn.
Half. You can watch in your own time.
That sounds good.
Oh,
Well, do you know if Nora is an adaptation or an original story?
I have no idea. I didn't even get to talk about the manga. I read some of the manga. Like, I know I've said I read some of the manga, but the manga is an environmental story, or at least it starts off as one. Where, like, the world's environment is collapsing, and, like, Japan's been wiped out, and it's about Nora and her team going out of their way to try and, like, save political dissonance from, like, a totalitarian government and bring about, like, and develop a technology that will restore the Earth so that, like, all of the environmental disasters that are happening from, like, pollution stop being as much of a problem. And then you watch the OVA and it's about, like, she's in space and there's magic.
Maybe she got the magic after that arc. Who knows?
Or maybe she had
I am
magic
tempted.
and then lost it, and that's why it's an environmental story. Or maybe it's a Nora multiverse.
I think it might be a Nora multiverse. I think the writer might just have Nora as a character that's, like, the protagonist of It's Liam Vickers.
Yeah, I was just thinking, don't remind me of John Matthews.
John Madden.
I have no context for this.
Doc, I don't... Yeah, no, I know Quartz hasn't watched it either, or listened to it. Liam Vickers used to do...
Creator of Murder Drones.
Creepypasta, and Liam Vickers, creator of Murder Drones and Cliffside, and Let's Split Up, used to write and narrate his own stories. Creepypastas, that sort of stuff. And the main character of all the ones I've seen, with the exception of a different POV in one of them, that being a cold love story, John Matthews is the protagonist in all of them.
But why, though?
And they're different, I don't know, but they're different John Matthews each time, because it's a multiverse.
That sounds kind of
Because
dumb.
it
I
is-
think I prefer the Nora multiverse.
Because Liam Vickers is allergic to creating new characters.
I was really hoping John Matthews would be referenced in Murder Drones. Maybe he was and I missed it.
John Madden. Nora.
Anyway,
Anyway.
gunsmith cats.
No!
I'm tempted to read the Nora manga, honestly.
It's up on Manga Dex. That's where you can find it.
Hey. I'll give it a read.
It's scanlations only. There's never been an official international release. You just have to do the best you can get, you know?
I'll give it a read, and maybe we can do a Nora part 2, where we talk about the manga and how it's different from the OVAs, and what got adapted from the manga into the OVAs, if they're original stories, if they're, that sort of stuff.
There is the other OVA. There is OVA 1.
I think we've exhausted everything we have to say about
Yeah,
Twinkle Nora
we're
Block.
done.
Yeah.
It's over. Just end the podcast.